Good morning, West London Alliance. My name is Rick Walton, and I'm the Director of Biblical Counseling here at our church. And it's my privilege to bring to you this morning our staff meeting update. And I am excited. I can tell you I'm excited to present to you something that I've been working on with some others to really present our biblical counseling ministry. In our last video in January, I gave some updates and reflection of 2020 and really began to ask ourselves, how did God work there? And then we began to give some shape to what you could anticipate in 2021 through the biblical counseling ministry. And I introduced to you our name. The name of our biblical counseling ministry going forward with West London Alliance Church is True North Soul Care. And you might say, well, what does True North Soul Care mean? Why did you choose that name? Well, you can go back to that other video and I'll go over that. I walk through what is True North and Soul Care. What does that all mean? So do that. So one of the critical things that's important for us, I think, as a ministry, especially during this COVID time where we've been in and out of various isolation stages, is having a virtual presence, actually having access, whether you're at home, whether you're at work, if you're on a tablet, computer, or in person, to us. And so we have launched the True North Soul Care website. And that's what I'm going to walk you through here on this staff meeting update. So just give me a second here as I share the screen so that you can, I can walk you through this. All right, so you're already starting to see the website. True North Soul Care, you can see at the top, the menu walks you through a few things. Our home screen, the About, see this? The About menu pops out, gives you information on our counseling, our church, and some contact information. We have services, Team Grit. I'll talk to you about that in a few minutes. What is our journal? We're going to talk about that, COVID-19 page, and a contact page. All right, so you'll notice here, first of all, there's various sliders are going through, and they're really helping to focus on some critical aspects of our ministry, just to kind of introduce things to people. Again, we want to give you a platform here that you can share with family, with friends, with others that you love that are at West London Alliance Church. And you may be in a small group with someone, or you may be having coffee with someone, and you uncover, hey, this person's really struggling and they need to reach out for some help, some counsel, someone to just sit and walk through life with them for a little bit. Well, you can actually share then this link to our homepage. It's truenorth.care, truenorth.care, and that will take them right to this website. All right, so what is biblical soul care? That's one of them. It's going to take them right to our approach to counseling. What is it? What is soul care in contrast to other approaches of counseling? Are you ready for support? That's what this page is showing you. And you can go right to our contact page. You just click here and it'll take you there. The journal, again, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what the journal is in a few minutes. And then lastly here is the COVID pandemic page. The COVID-19 gives you some resources. As you scroll down here, this is very clear right out of the gate. True North Soul Care is the biblical counseling ministry of West London Alliance Church. And I can tell you, it's a privilege for me to be able to serve alongside all of our different ministry leaders and staff, because we really want to see God's redemptive care brought into people's lives, whether that's in sharing the gospel, whether that's through Bible studies, or whether that's through here in the biblical soul care ministry. Notice what I say here. I think this is important to highlight. We desire to walk alongside you for a season of life, seeking to compassionately understand your life context, considering your physical and spiritual indications, and discerning counsel from God's revelation in the Bible. We are relying on God's Spirit to bring transforming heart change and supporting you to live out God's revealed wisdom in shaping new life habits. We really believe in the soul care ministry that God's concerned about the whole person, the body and the soul, and that he wants to bring change inside and out. So that's why we talk about God's Spirit bringing true heart change to us, and then also the ability to see new habits take shape externally. It's all part and parcel of how God's redemptive care works in our life. As you scroll down through this page, you'll see here, this takes you to our approach. You can just click on here. This will take you to our services. As again, it's a quick click. This is really awesome. I think this is super important. Our soul care distinctives. What are our soul care distinctives? And really, there's four pillars. There's four pillars that you're going to see here. First of all, and I'm not going to go over this in detail. You can go to the website actually and read more on it. But the first one is Christ-centered. And what do I mean by Christ-centered? You should look at that and see what exactly do we mean by Christ-centered in counseling. It's clinically informed. Well, what do we mean by clinically informed? Church-based and community renewing. And I want you to notice as you float your mouse over it, there's more information that flips around on each one of these. So again, this gives you some insight into the soul care distinctives. As you scroll down, you'll see recent journal posts, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But also notice here, frequently asked questions. I think it's really important that we were able to put up a few of the frequently asked questions that people have. And again, all you do is just click here, and this just opens up. You can click on any of these and it will take you right into it. So some of the questions are, how much does counseling cost? How many sessions will I need? Can I see someone immediately? How long do sessions last? Do I have to be a member of the WLA church to receive counseling? What is your cancellation policy? So all of those things there, I think will help to answer a lot of the more frequently asked questions. So just to navigate forward here, going up to our About section and going down to our Approach, as we click on this, I want you to see this. So on the Approach page, what is our approach to counseling? And this is going to walk you through that. If you're actually interested in trying to see, well, how does biblical counseling theory differ from psychotherapy? Dr. David Pallison, he really walks you through this, and I wanted the Christian Counseling Education Foundation, or CCEF, to have a place here so that we could actually get some really good information from a wise biblical counselor that's been at it for many years. So he shares. Also, we feature here on this approach ABC, which is the Association of Biblical Counselors, of which now not only is our biblical counseling ministry a member of, but also that's where we're going to receive our certification for counseling. I already have biblical certification through ABC, and part of the training and equipping that we will be doing over the years will be bringing about the opportunity for people to be also certified in biblical counseling and to build a lay team of counselors. But in this whole aspect of approach, what I want you to see here is there were two podcasts that they did, ABC did through Speak the Truth. That's their podcast. What is Biblical Counseling, Part 1 and 2. And there's a real good dialogue back and forth, and they walk through really what is the theory, the approach, the philosophy, and how does it stitch together with our biblical worldview. And I think that's important. So I wanted you to have that. I also wanted you to be able to share this with others so that they too could gain a better understanding of what is soul care or biblical counseling. All right, so that's the About section. Then you can go to the Team section. And the Team section, well, that's primarily just myself right at this point. But I did want to call it a Team section because I believe this is going to grow. I believe our counseling ministry is going to grow. I've been talking with various people already that have reached out to me and followed up saying, hey, I would be interested to understand more about what is the training that you're going to do to bring about either from an audit perspective, just going through the training over, say, September to May of from this coming fall into the following year. You can audit that, or you can actually go through a certification process. So whether you want to be an official member of our counseling team, or whether you're a parent or a small group leader, or just you want to take the training to be able to help others grow. You can participate in that potentially. This first year, we're going to definitely limit the size of the course because we want to make sure we've got everything in place and that it works well. But then as we go each year, we're going to expand that, Lord willing, not only to make that as an opportunity available for people within our church, but then hopefully for church leaders outside. So the vision is bigger than just something that's inward focused. It's going to, Lord willing, turn so that we can begin to outwardly reach and support others. So this just gives you a little background on who I am, and also the counseling ministry networks and affiliations. We're part of the Biblical Counseling Coalition. That's a partnership, international partnership that we have with them, as well as, again, ABC, as I talked about that. And there will be other ministry networks, Lord willing, coming in the future. We're just trying to really partner together so that we can leverage the strength of this biblical counseling ministry that's really global. I think it's pretty exciting. So again, you have the about section, then you can go into the schedule. So the schedule is, well, what's the process to meet with a counselor? What would that look like? Again, I want to answer those questions. I don't want there to be any ambiguity for you as best we can. So we try to walk you through that. If there's any, here's a COVID update. If you again want to get the COVID updates, because some I wanted to make sure this was here. It'll direct you right to our COVID page with the COVID updates. Okay, so there's 3 steps as far as to getting introduced to a counselor, and that walks you through it right there. It's very clear, and it's I hope it's very helpful for people. Again, that frequently asked questions spot also shows up here, because that's probably one of the best places for it. All right, so we have the approach, which we've walked through, the team, myself primarily right now, but we're looking to expand that. The schedule, which we just talked about, how do you get into that scheduling process to meet with a counselor? Also, WLA Church is featured here. It takes you right to our church website directly, because we want people to be introduced to our wonderful church family and all the other diversity of ministries that our church offers. All right, so next is our services. This is the service page. So as you go on to our service section, we provide soul care services for the well-being of the whole person created in God's image. And I believe we are starting to really press into that objective. We have core services for individual counseling, relationship and marriage counseling, family counseling. So these are the 3 primary core categories that we offer here at True North Soul Care. Do we offer any more specialized services? Do we offer any more? Yes, we have 2 right now. One is SYMBIS, and that is a premarital and marital assessment. So if you're looking to be married and or you've just recently been married, this is something that I'm certified in and as a facilitator, and we walk through this together, and it really helps you to get a really good awareness of who you are as individuals and as a couple, and what that looks like as God stitches you together as one flesh. And I think you would really find this a blessing to walk through. Second thing that we do is right now as more of a specialized service is the Grip Berkman. The Grip Berkman is also something I'm certified in as a Grip Berkman coach. The leadership grip portion of the Grip Berkman goes through a spiritual gift assessment. Now, you can just take the spiritual gift assessment on its own, or you can take the Grip Berkman. The Berkman is getting into more of an in-depth study of how we're naturally wired. So the leadership grip in this regard dives into how God spiritually has wired you. The Berkman dives into how God's naturally wired you. So again, this is good for individuals looking at really how God's wired you to either serve in the church. There's a whole business portfolio for career development and career planning. So maybe you're someone that's just exiting high school and you're entering into university, or you're not sure whether you're going to go into school. The Grip Berkman really gives you a good snapshot on who you are, and it helps you to make some good and wise decisions. Or maybe you're in job transition. This also will help you with that. I found it helpful too within marriages, even because couples can really get a picture of how God has gifted you spiritually and also naturally, how you guys support one another, because it gets into a whole variety of things of why you do what you do, not just what you do and how you do it well. And so this is a great tool. I would encourage you to let people know about it. Okay, so that's services right now. Now, Team Grit. Team Grit is exciting. Last year, we did a 40-day challenge. Team Grit is really focused on uniting biblical fitness for body and soul. We did a 40-day challenge last year where we took a nutritional goal, we took a spiritual goal, and we took a physical fitness goal. And we worked together on that for 40 days leading up to Easter. It was a fabulous time. We had over 80 participants in that. Well, this year, what we thought we would do is pull together a team to run that's right, a Toronto Spartan sprint race. This thing is a 5K race, 20 obstacles, requires teamwork and really diverse fitness levels. Right now, we have the 20 people signed up. So we're working from now until June, into the latter part of June, to really focus again on our body soul dynamics. This isn't just about physical fitness training. This is all about what True North Soul Care is. It's walking together with a team of people, diverse backgrounds, and really encouraging people on the fitness side, but also on the spiritual side. So how do we come together and really steward ourselves out of a positive response to how God saved us? We want to steward our lives by God's design and for His glory. So this is going to be exciting. I'm excited for this Team Grit. Each year we'll probably run an expression of some aspect of a blending of physical and spiritual fitness together. So the journal, this page here, this is, we just have a welcome page here. I want to point out that the journal is something that's going to come out at different times. It's not going to be like a weekly on a Monday, at least right now, posting. There will be various times through the week and over different weeks on different topics. We want to, again, have this journal focused on exploring life from a biblical worldview. Why? Well, I want to have resources here. As I read books, as I see videos, as there's materials that I come across, as I do my own research, and as our team expands, we'll have others writing, and then we'll also be leveraging others from outside of our church that are in the biblical counseling world that can speak into this. I want to be able to provide really good resources for you. So you can go to the journal and you can scroll down here and you can see categories. Right now, we just have the one uncategorized because that's the welcome page that you see here. But there'll be posts coming up on anxiety and depression and suicide prevention and domestic abuse and well, what about living your faith at work, and how do you process dealing with conflict and parenting, and you name it? There's going to be a spectrum of things. How do you understand? Again, how do we navigate this whole biblical counseling world versus other methods? And there's such a variety of things that we're going to see aggregate together over time that this page will become a super resource to you. Now, what I want to encourage you, go to the journal page now, and you see right here it says subscribe. You subscribe to our journal and news. You put your first name in and your email address, and this just comes right to our ministry. And as we publish journal articles, as we publish the things that we want people to want you to be aware of, you'll get an email and say, hey, go check this out. Hey, go check this out. So it's going to be, again, journal and news about the soul care ministry. So I encourage you right now, go right to that journal page and subscribe. And then you'll be first to see the recent posts that come out that we do. Okay, that's the journal. The COVID-19 page, you click on the COVID-19 page. This is going to, again, walk you through a little bit of the pandemic resources that we wanted to provide for you. At the top here, you're going to see West London Alliance. If you clicked on this or you click on this link here, it takes you right to our church's page where we talk about the COVID updates from a church perspective. This gives you a little update here from a counseling perspective. So as of right now, we've just transitioned to a different stage, and we're actually starting to meet in person again. So we do both online as well as in person. But here's the resources. I wanted you to see some really cool resources that I pulled together, and they're all free. This first one is the Coronavirus and Christ, both the ebook, which is free, and the audio of it. It's free. So you can go right here and you can listen to it, or you can download the ebook. You click on this one here, opens up again the Speak the Truth, which is the ABC Association of Biblical Counselors podcast, and I put some links on here. One onto depression, suffering, domestic violence, anxiety. Those are just a few that I thought would be helpful for people as we were thinking about navigating through this COVID time. Or you can click right here and it'll take you right to the listing of all their podcasts. And again, so I want you to have this because I think it's important. Another resource, if you click here, this is put out by CCEF. Again, this is walking you through various either audio or video or written things. And I believe this one here is how do I navigate difficult relationships at home during the lockdown? If you click on this one, how do we face various non-death losses and disappointments caused by the pandemic? And there's a variety of other ones. It's all produced called the Words of Hope. And so you click on that link there, it'll take you to a whole variety of things on anxiety, the family, loneliness, illness, and even for pastors and so forth. Great resources, again, that they're providing. I'm just linking them in on our website so you have quick and easy access. And lastly, how about a devotional series? This is actually put up by the Biblical Counseling Coalition, the executive director, Curtis Solomon. And what he does here is he actually puts together a 39-day devotional series, very short little videos, maybe 4 or 5 minutes long. And he walks through a whole variety of topics, but just to redirect our focus so that we're not stuck in this spiraling down in despair. He goes through a whole variety of topics. I'm not going to get into them here, but you can either watch the first 2 here. If you want to watch more, you can click down here and it takes you to the whole series. And then each day you could go in and watch one. And I guarantee, I don't want to say I guarantee, but I think you would see a huge benefit spiritually, and that you would see a lift in how you're processing life if you walk through this 39-day series with Curtis Solomon. Okay, so that's again the COVID-19 resources. Here I just posted the videos that I've done for other staff meeting updates during the COVID timeframe. So if you wanted to watch them, you could. That's our COVID. Now again, contact. Here is how you can contact us here. Are you looking and ready for help? Here's our address. We have the Google map that's here and you can get directions. So again, if you pass this to somebody, they can click right on here and they can get directions right to our church, which is right here, but they can actually put in their address and it'll track them here. Okay, here's the contact page. And this is great because you can fill in your basic information and the type of inquiry. Are you looking for individual counseling, marriage counseling, the family counseling, the SYMBIS counseling, or that Grip Berkman that we talked about? That's here as well. So I'm excited that the Lord has really moved to really start and launch True North Soul Care here at West London Alliance Church. And our first marker along the journey, one of our major objectives was to get this website into place, to get good resources into your hands, to give you easy access, whether we're in a lockdown or not. Not only for you, but also for your friends and family, to be able to pass them something that would, again, get them in touch with me. Also that you would have that journal, a link. Again, go to the journal and subscribe so that you can get emails of the latest updates that as we post articles on there, or as we post news or reviews or whatever it is that the journal will hold over time. I encourage you to start with that. So I thank you for staying with me. It's exciting, and I pray that the Lord will continue to use this ministry to bring a quality of care and love and support, and really seeing him glorified, see the redemption of Christ through the gospel, see how God's truth really can speak into our lives and bring about that real heart change that we talked about, whether we're dealing with suffering, whether we're dealing with sin. God can speak into our life and can bring about a real living hope, and not just one that affects us internally, but also then can bring about positive fruit in our life and good habit change also externally through the wisdom of God's principles. So again, I ask that you would pray for us, pray for me, pray for the ongoing objectives of our ministry. The next things you're going to see, hopefully, Lord willing, coming up. One, we're looking to do a workshop coming up in the spring on domestic abuse. Again, domestic abuse is going to, Lord willing, be in the spring. We're going to start in the fall the biblical counseling training for either audit purposes or for the certification. And then we're going to do in the latter fall, early winter, we're going to do a suicide prevention workshop. So those are really some of the mile markers that you can anticipate still coming in the biblical counseling ministry through True North Soul Care. Thank you so much for your prayers, for your support, and feel free, again, to reach out anytime. I'd love to hear from you. God bless you all.